Hi guys, welcome to Python Part 6. Today we are going to be learning 3 different things. So that's why I have 3 different wheels. We're going to start spinning all the wheels. Go. Goo goo. Let's see what they all land on. So I guess we're not doing separator, in tracker, and functions. Doot doot. You don't need to worry about that. Your family here, so that's why there might be interruptions. Intervals, combining dictionaries, math. Alright. Now let's do this. Join. Let's see what we can't do. Join function conditional statements, lower number. Looks like we're doing lists, dictionaries, and keywords. Alright, I have a real big family here, so don't mind that. So let's start. List, dictionary, and keywords. You're gonna like them. Well, keywords are optional, but they'd be really cool. Which one should we start with first? Let's start with lists, then dictionaries, then keywords. Let's make like our own list. Lists are very simple. Let's make a list names equals in the lists you need to add these kind of brackets. Bob, Mario. So Bob, Mario, and Stephanie. Alright, that's what a list is. And with list, you can do bunches of stuff. You can print the list as normal. Yep. But you're gonna get that, so you're gonna want to keep a little bit of space. Anyway, you're still gonna get that if you print the name. So you can print names like this, maybe. No, I have no clue why this happens. So I think we're gonna have to learn how this happens. Remember when I told you can use this? You can ask it, and I make mistakes. What is this? So like when you can ask what is this, and like any kind of questions. The line name, haha. You have to make sure that you add these also. I totally forgot that part sometimes. You can accept and run. Bob, Mario, and Stephanie. So, you can understand like that it's the list is like talking about like this, and you can see that there's a bunch of things. We won't do those yet. we won't like learn those yet. How to do that. That's how you can do like names, like lists. There's also a few things you can do with so you can do other kinds of things with print. Yeah. Then you can add like can I show you something? Okay. Did you know that that you can do other stuff with this, like other things to do, like what can you can ask this with a list. You can ask it. You can answer anything about Python and maybe some math. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. That's what you can do. You can do a bunch. You can do I guess Python makes mistakes. See? So that's how Python makes mistakes. Iterating through fruits. So that's what most things is. So that's all I'm going to teach you about lists. Lists are one of the easiest things to learn since you can do this. And there's a bunch of other things we wouldn't have to do with lists because since we just learned them. Now, dictionaries are real important. I don't know what we would have done without dictionaries. Yep, I just don't know. Well, I just guessed. Lists and dictionaries are pretty common. The only thing is like, so let's create the same variable with names. Do you guys already want to start in with keywords? Sure. Names, then, so if you want to add a keyword, keywords are total optional. And you can add like a keyword like that is. So since we're learning dictionary, for dictionaries it would be dick equals. Well, for this one you also have to add square brackets. Name. Let's name. Bob. Let's say that the name is Bob. His name is Bob. Age. Uh, 67. Okay. Now, let's start. Invalid syntaxes cannot be used. It must be inside here. I have to run. name Bob age 67, like that. Remember? Same thing for dictionaries. Add these. Name Bob age 67. Alright. So that's what names in dictionaries could be. Then you can reverse it up, like like other stuff. And that's mostly about dictionaries. And this much I'm going by short by. Maybe we can do another one. Let's see. Let's do functions. Why not? Functions. Let's do lower number is really easy. Let's do lower number. And let's do let's go with math. So first let's go with functions. You guys want to create a variable first? Do you guys want it to be a dictionary or a list? Let's make it a dictionary. Let's use the same dictionary. I accidentally deleted that. Luckily, I have the output of that. See? So that's what. Now, okay, there. Names equals name Bob age 67. Now, in order to start a function, you're gonna want to start this keyword. It's called def. And now, what do you think we should call the thing? Let's call it. Let's introduce def introduce this is see, remember when you create a function, I don't know what's going on. Well, in order to do this, you can ask this again. And then see, it will come up again. And we're gonna focus on that later. Def introduce print first F formatted strings. Remember these? If you don't, I think you could either watch part 4 or 5. Part introducing Bob the Builder. Have you guys ever heard of Bob the Builder? names. And just in case if you want to know, this is a dictionary. Remember. And if you type in this as list, but this is actually a dictionary, that doesn't matter a lot. And if you say int, that's not going to happen because keywords are optional. So, but I like to add them just in case if anybody wants to do something. And then we kind of, so in order to call this function, we can't just do print introduce. Then you're gonna get this. So instead you do this. You see this here? You can either Control C and then Control V. That's how you call it. And then it's like, introducing the Bob the Builder. Name, Bob. Age, 6'7". So that's what that's a basic and short part about functions. Functions are a little bit easier than you think it is, but functions are actually loops. So two things I want to point out. People get confused with these because they don't think functions are loops. They are. In order that, you must add that in the first part of the function. And yours also should be indented. And then the reason why I'm particularly explaining about indenting that a lot, because I see it in beginner's code, everybody messes that up. And they're like, how do you do this? And yeah, so that's why I'm trying to teach you all the things so that you can watch this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. That's going to be really help out. I'm a newbie in channels, and I'm only in I think 9 subscribers. That's real bad. I just want more. So, it's not better than 0 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. And yeah, I'm also 9 years old. Maybe somebody's trying to put it in a trick. I get the more older I get, the more subscribers I'll have. Whatever. And now, let's start after that. Let's do some math. Just some math. Some math. I'm gonna quickly add this functions keywords dictionaries lists lower and upper. I'm just gonna separate that with L and U and math. Okay. Upper and math. So let's do some math. And what I mean by math is a little bit harder than you think it is. So, like, I'm not talking math like super easy, 1 + 1 and 2 + 2 and 3 + 3. Everybody knows that. Instead, have you seen? These projects are real cool, and I'm like, when I see them, I'm like, how do they do that? These two short lines matter a lot. Yep. Run selected file. Unavailable to that. But that's not what I want to do. When you run, hello world, 10 stars. But where do you see 10 stars? I'm going to quickly close this so that you don't actually see that code. And let's start by creating a new code cell. What do you want to create a variable of? So in Jupyter, this is Jupyter, but in this kind of stuff, we actually don't have to recreate the list even if it's at a different cell. So let's start with this math. So let's print out our variable names. And since I'm adding stuff, now I can add stuff like, let's say I add stuff like and then let's add like these kind of braces there. Then let's add let's poop add a poop times 10. You want to add poop 10 times, but you don't want to keep adding poop. So you can do the multiplication symbol 10. Haha. Invalid syntax. Perhaps you forgot a comma. Yeah, something's wrong. Well, remember, what's wrong? You can see other stuff that you want to add. This is actually what I was trying to explain. Remember, you have to add this plus, since you're actually like adding it. Now if you run, you get poop, but now it's not spaced out. Just add space. Now if you want to, you can either add, see, Now poop, 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 poop. Yep, that's what it is. I'm not saying, I just needed to think of something quick. So that's why I just thought of poop. So that was the first thing that came to my mind. So for now, don't worry that I typed in poop. That's how most of how you can do multiply. Poop divided by 10 is not possible. So you can, and I don't think minus is also going to work. So you can either plus and then you can, yep, it can, so it can only do multiply with these, but other things can be possible with these. You can create a bunch of things with these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can either add that. You can either do other stuff with these. Now these things are real easy. Now for a last part of our lesson, I'm going to teach you lower number. So now notice something. If I add in .lower, that, look what happens. We get an error. Node. See, there's nothing's gonna happen about that. Yep. Well, it's mostly added in variables. Pretty sure. Or since there, you know, like these .lower names, but we can't do that anyway. So I prefer using it in a variable. It's a syntax if you don't do it in a variable. They call it ugly. A bunch of stuff they call ugly. But anyway, so usually lower is usually used for like lowering stuff. Like let's say you wanted to print some kind of weird thing. Then let's say print poop. So let's syntax this with upper. Also add double quotes in this. And add this here. Yep. Attribute errors are nothing. So that's why you can still say what's wrong. Control C. Anyway, see that she'll show you what's wrong. The enter cell, that one. Print function itself doesn't return. Which isn't. So actually, remember, prints should always be inside. Now, if you change this into upper, then let's say this will be lower. Introducing Bob the Builder. Name Bob, age 6'7", poop. And it will show lowercase. So upper and lower parts are just basically for that. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you like all of my Python Part 6 and my Python Part 6. Just to tell you, I created a new playlist of all of my Python videos. If you want to find them shortly and to subscribe, please subscribe. See? Please subscribe. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe.